Israel says a top Hamas leader is dead, truth or worse. But the bombs won't stop, the aid's not flowing, and the world is losing patience. After months of relentless airstrikes and fighting, Israel now claims it may have killed one of its top targets, Hamas leader Muhammad Sinwar. But here's the catch: even if he is dead, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made it crystal clear. The war in Gaza is far from over. He says the mission won't end until every single hostage is freed, Hamas is crushed, and Israeli forces control all of Gaza. That's the plan, no compromise. And part of that plan, a controversial suggestion that Palestinians should just leave Gaza altogether, echoing ideas once floated by former US President Donald Trump. But while leaders debate strategy and control, families in Gaza are living a completely different reality. For more than a year, they've been on the move, fleeing one neighborhood after another. And today, they're on the road again after yet another round of Israeli displacement orders. Israel says its forces are taking over more ground, clearing out what they call terrorist infrastructure. But behind those military terms are people, families who've lost homes, loved ones, and hope. Meanwhile, the humanitarian crisis is spiraling. 2 days ago, Israel lifted a blockade on aid trucks, but still, food and supplies aren't reaching the people who need them. Over 100 trucks have crossed into Gaza, but aid agencies say they're stuck waiting for the green light to actually deliver the goods. In other words, the food's in, but not on plates, and that's fueling global outrage. UK Development Minister Andrew Mitchell didn't mince his words during a visit to the West Bank. He accused Israel of using hunger as a weapon of war and made it clear this isn't a natural disaster. No earthquake, no flood. Just decisions, he says, made by a handful of leaders, leaving innocent children and families to suffer. The images coming out of Gaza are hard to watch. Rubble, destruction, and the heart-breaking faces of the displaced. And for many around the world, including here in Britain, those images are reshaping how they view Israel. Netanyahu, however, is pushing back. He blames what he calls fake propaganda by Hamas and says the UK is only feeling pressure because of its Muslim communities. But international frustration is growing. And fast. The aid trickle isn't easing Gaza's hunger, and it's certainly not easing the pressure on Israel from its own allies. So what happens next? Israel says it's pushing forward until Hamas is defeated. But with Gaza on the brink, allies furious, and a humanitarian crisis exploding, this war and its consequences are far from over.